Stan Gibilisco here from the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of Adverse Tire Behavior. Here to answer a question the best I can that a lot of you probably have and just haven't really paid much attention to, or have just dismissed the matter as obviously it doesn't matter. This morning I noticed in my right rear tire that little cap on the tire valve was missing. Now, I've heard various things about that. I've heard that dust can get in there, which it most certainly can, and grit and grime as time goes by, especially in a climate and environment like this. And that stuff can get in there and disrupt the behavior of that valve in such a way as to cause a slow leak. Some people say it does. Some people say there's apparatus inside there that'll prevent that, whether that cap is on or not. So I Googled on some phrases related to that, and came up with a variety of answers. Most people said, of course it doesn't matter. It's just that little cap. It can't matter. And in fact, that's what about 9 out of 10 people said. But about 1 out of 10 people said, yes, it can matter, because indirectly that grit and grime and sand and dust and everything else does get in there and disrupt the behavior of that valve in such a way as to interfere with the proper functioning of that valve. Therefore, you get a slow leak. Well, eventually your tire pressure will fall if you're not aware of it, especially on a long trip at high speeds on the highway, such as across Dakota Territory, United States of automotive mania, that you might find that you're driving along there at 75 miles an hour, and now the speed limit in much of the state on the interstate is 80 miles an hour. You might find that you're driving there with 20 pounds of pressure in your right rear tire or right front tire, and if you're in a high-rise or lifted vehicle like my old big number 8 was, and you get a flat suddenly, you could roll that vehicle, and if you roll at 80 miles an hour, there's a pretty doggone good chance that you're not going to come out of it alive, or if you do, you'll wish you hadn't. So, there's a lot riding on your tires is a phrase that has been used in advertisements, and it is so true. I believe it's for Michelin tires. Well, you get the best tires you can. Shouldn't you treat them in such a way as to allow them to behave in the best way that they can, inflate them to the proper pressures, and so on and so forth? So I went and I bought a package of 4 of those caps and put one on there. And then that was when I decided I'm going to see who says what about this. And like I said, 9 out of 10 people said it can't possibly matter. But 1 out of 10, approximately, said it definitely does. And those 1 out of 10, almost every time, had something to do with automotive mechanics, had experience in automotive mechanics or manufacturing, or one was even a tire manufacturing employee, not a representative of a tire company. But would it matter? I mean, would a 25-cent cap matter? They don't want their tires to get a bad reputation, of course, but I imagine that you, as the driver of the vehicle, especially if you spend a lot of money on those tires, don't want to be a dead person because of mistreatment of those tires either. So my recommendation is keep those caps on there. And if they crack and break, replace them. They're so cheap. Any automotive supply store will have them. I bought some today for 99 cents. Brand new, they fit great. So, why take the chance? If you do have an accident because of a missing gas cap, you might come out of it alive, and then again you might not. If you do come out of it alive, you'll replace that cap. And if you don't come out of it alive, of course, you won't. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until next time, so long.